An entertaining start of the show with Vladimir. I have plenty to say about his July opponent.
Vladimir's now left the building and ventured back home to begin his final training camp. From backstage to our stage, we welcome the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, David Haye. David, welcome to Ringside. Thank you for joining us. You've been backstage. What was the reason for that? You just don't want to see him?
No, I don't want to see him anymore. I've been around him for hours over the last couple of days. I was with him a couple of weeks ago in New York, and I just don't want him in my space. I don't want to be talking to him. I don't want to feel comfortable around him. You start spending time around someone, you start getting comfortable. I don't want to be comfortable around him.
I've noticed in some of the head-to-heads that you've done that there's been a real distance between you. You haven't sort of crossed over any mark.
Yeah, it definitely has been that. With him, I've thought about him so much, and I've wanted this fight for so long. It means that much to me. I wouldn't be surprised or end up snapping if he said something or did something. I don't want anyone to smash him in the face and knock him out now and ruin my chance of doing it officially on July 2nd.
The fans have watched it, and they see you in the green room. They see no one to talk to him. They see the highlights of the press conference when you're on your phone and not answering him back. They're thinking, what's happened to David? He's gone a little bit quiet. You know, he's not responding. He's not as aggressive as what he was before this fight was announced. What's the message to them?
Well, listen, once you see some of the stuff of us in America, we were going pretty screaming each other's face at one stage. And I'm thinking, why am I wasting my energy doing this? You know, it makes no difference fight night. But hold it, bottle it, save it for the fight. That's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, whether people think I'm scared out of my mind, whether people think I'm overconfident. Well, on July 2nd, when we walk into that ring, all that stuff doesn't mean anything. It's all about who is the best fighter on the night. And I know deep down in my heart, it is me.
With the escalator stuff, the severed head T-shirts, was that just to get him to fight?
That was how I was feeling at the time. You know, I wanted something to get under his skin. I wanted something to get in his head to get, you know, when I did that stuff, you know, I was up in the rankings. You know, nobody knew who I was in the heavyweight division. It took me putting off some of these stunts to get me, you know, the shot against Vladimir. That definitely helped. Without that shot, doing stuff like this.
Do you think you've got under his skin, especially this?
I'm not sure if it's got under his skin. What it's done at the time is it put me on the map. It put me on the radar. You know, as he said, he hadn't seen much of my cruiserweight campaign. You know, if people look at that, they realise I had a great cruiserweight career. But he hadn't seen any of that. So this was the first sort of meeting that he had with him.
You hijacked him.
I did. He had no idea he was coming. He didn't know he was coming. I jumped on there and
you didn't do it here on Ringside.
I'm already here. The fight's signed. You know more. I don't need to scream in his face. I don't need to do all that stuff. Fight happened. He asked him, and he just avoided it. He said, "You've lost the fast starters in the past." Completely avoided that question. You know, he doesn't accept his vulnerability. He doesn't accept that he can be knocked out because it's happened to him before. Even the losses that he has had. You read some of the articles, what he said after the fight, oh, someone poisoned the Vaseline they put on my face, someone put something in my drink, that's why I lost. He didn't say I lost because I wasn't good enough, because I ran out of steam and the guy knocked me out. He wouldn't admit to himself why he lost the fight. And that's exactly that's one of the major factors of him getting knocked out when he fights me.
This has got to be the meanest I've ever seen you before a fight. You've been quiet, you've been moody, you've been mouthy. But how much does this actually mean to you personally?
This is everything. This is what my whole career has been about, is get me to this stage, to get me to this big ultimate fight that everybody wants to see. You know, I can't think of another fight, you know, other than Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather that doesn't really seem like that fight's happening. There's no other fight on the planet that the world